Folks, welcome back to the channel. This video is going to be a continuation of the last couple of instructional videos that I've made, and where we talk about how to improvise and how I personally play mandolin. So for this video, I'm going to create a practice routine out of a major scale and then show you how I would implement some of those techniques over fiddle tunes we already know. All right, first let's start with the G major scale. Next, we're going to give each note in the major scale harmony, or in other words, we'll take each note and represent it with a 3-note chord. So when we have harmony for each note in the major scale, you end up having 3-note intervals, whether they be major, minor, or diminished, and those 3-note intervals can be thought of as arpeggios. Exercise 1. Okay guys, just to familiarize ourselves with these arpeggios and these scales, let's go ahead and just play each arpeggio ascending up the scale. So first, G major, second A minor, B minor, C major, D major, E minor, F sharp, G major. Exercise 2. In this exercise, we're going to have one arpeggio ascend and the next arpeggio descend all the way up the scale. So G major, A minor, B minor, C major, D major, E minor, F sharp, G major. Exercise number 3. For this exercise, we're actually just going to invert exercise number 2, and that's going to go something like this. G major ascending, F sharp, E minor, D major, C major, B minor, A minor, G major. Practicing scales and arpeggios are great, but what we really want to do is be able to use some of this vocabulary in a song. So I've identified one song in which I typically like to use some of this vocabulary in, which is Whiskey Before Breakfast. The first part of the melody for Whiskey Before Breakfast goes like this. In that first part of the melody, there's a walk down that goes G, F sharp, E, D. So before we go any farther, we got to talk about something. The scales and the arpeggio workouts, the exercises that we did, were in the key of G, and the song Whiskey Before Breakfast is actually in the key of D. So how are we going to take phrasing from the key of G and use it over the key of D? Well, if we look at the key of D, actually expressed out in a major scale with harmony, you may notice that the 5, 6, 7, and 8 of the key of G are the same as the 1, 2, 3, and 4 of the key of D. So if we look at that walk down that we did earlier, where it was the G note, F sharp, E to D, we find all of those notes in both a G major scale and a D major scale. So phrasing from a G major scale will work over that section. So the section of Whiskey Before Breakfast that we want to reharmonize would be the walk down. G, F sharp, E, D. Right? And the phrasing we want to use is actually from our third exercise. G major, F sharp, E minor, D major. Because it is a G walk down. So, Whiskey Before Breakfast, that little first section with our improvised or reharmonized phrasing from exercise 3 would sound something like this. Thanks for watching the video. Drop your questions in the comment section. Follow me on Instagram, DJ's Mandolin. Also check out my Patreon. I'm going to try to put some more content up there as well. So thanks for watching.